Yo ho, fellow pirates, how are you all doing today? 8.5 hours before my season 5 is going to close, I've got some information for you, which I still needed to record, but I've been sick for quite a while, so I hope my voice is getting back a little bit better. But let's get into it. I wanna show you the most damage dealing hero that there is in season 5. That hero is Sarah. Sarah is in, where is she on the list? There she is. Of course she's on the top. There she is, Sarah. Sarah does strategic damage to 5 ships for 400%. Attack and strategic damage boosts rage reduction for your opponent and strategic damage vulnerability. She gives more strategic damage when you do damage to a healthy ship. And healthy means a ship of your opponent's fleet that is above 50%. And then for every one healthy ship, so again above 50%, the target's fleet increases her rage restoration by, in my case, 6%. It is at least gonna be 4%, can go even up to 8. So if you're fighting an opponent which has 6 targets at the beginning of the battle, I am getting 36% rage restoration. But it's not just Sarah that is amazing. What is actually even more amazing is her trinket, the Shadow Serpent. It increases strategic damage, which is all fine and well. But the one thing we want to look at is if the wielder has the gunner tag, the 3rd slot, which Sarah has, when the ship under the wielder's command deals strategic damage to healthy ships, so again only in the beginning of the battle, only when there's healthy ships on the opponent's side, there is a 51% probability that the ship will launch one more basic attack. And the effect can be triggered at most 2 times per second, which is an incredible amount. So when she does strategic damage, there is a chance to do a basic attack. And with that low cooldown, that can do a lot of damage. But what can increase that even more? Of course, the heroes that you have on that ship. It triggers off of them strategic damage instances, which in my case I have a 4-star Griffin. He does 5 instances of strategic damage for his active, but he can even do his rage skill again, which then would make it, of course, double. Then you can do Molly or Boa, both of them are good for this. They both get around 12 to 14 instances of strategic damage every 10 seconds. So again, those are some serious numbers. If we want to increase Sarah's trinket damage specifically, and if you then have that, it will do a lot. Now you're gonna say Sarah up to rank 6 is gonna cost a lot of money. No, it's not. In this case, it's not, because Sarah is in the saga. She can be obtained completely for free. For 1 rank right there, and then for another 3 right here. So everyone can at least have a rank 4 Sarah. So yeah, that is very good. Of course, her rage regeneration is a rank 6 skill, which is a very good skill. But it can still do better. Then, what else can we do to increase that? Well, if you have the skill Head on Wallop, the ultimate skill Head on Wallop on your Orochi, when the ship deals any strategic damage again to a healthy ship, it will deal an additional strategic damage equal to 40% of its attack. And the damage can trigger up to 5 times per second. Again, a very low cooldown. And the additional strategic damage will not trigger the skill again. Well, that's just a disclaimer on there. But 5 times per second is an amazing cooldown. Which there's another ultimate skill in there, Orochi, which can help a lot. It's the Seal of War in this case. there's when you do a basic attack, there's a 35% chance to do a strategic to at most 3 ships. So it's not 1 instance, it's 3 instances. But the effect can only be triggered once every 6 seconds. And that is why this one is a lot worse. And that's why the head-on Wallop is way stronger. Annihilation only increases your strategic damage, which is of course very good, but it will not help trigger that one skill. As you can see, 29 million power came from my strategic. Of that 29 million, 13 million came from Sarah alone. Compare that to a Warhammer that does 10 million damage in total. A Stormbringer that does 9 million damage in total. Of course, they probably died mid-battle somewhere. But this is something that I'm seeing every battle report. A Sarah which does more damage than my entire Warhammer. Not always, but it's close. But, you know, the fact that she can do this is amazing. Go look at the other opponent. Again, 19 million, which 9 million of those came from Sarah. If you go look at that, that is also his best damage dealing hero. And then I can go look at the comparison, and then I can tell you, there he is, Sarah, trinket, 3-star, level 100. But in this case, he doesn't have head-on Wallop. Now, what else can we do to trigger this? What else can we do to make this even better? Well, if you can get heavy artillery, which I don't have on my Orochi, but I'm trying to get it. If you can get heavy artillery, which increases basic attack damage by 70%, if you can get that skill on your Orochi, which does a lot of basic attacks after the trinket does, then that would even increase that further. Now, Bob, you're saying it's a meta. Why didn't your opponent do so many strategic damage to you? Well, there is also a counter. And in this case, the counter is that you have to do 1,000,000 squad raids. Well, not literally 1,000,000, but 100, 200 maybe, I don't know. A lot. And the only thing you can do against it is try to set up your season specialization like I did, with as many oranges as you can. And the only thing you can need to do is try to get this specific square, which has the opal in it, and 3 oranges. All of the other ones, you just need to split the oranges with the greens, and then you need to have 3 pieces, which all have 1 of each. So that is the way to get as many orange slots as I can. Now, why am I getting orange slots? Why am I getting strategic increase? Why am I trying to get a damage increase? I am not. I'm trying to get a damage reduction. As you can see, I am doing more strategic damage with this gem, but I am also having strategic damage reduction. And every gem that I have has strategic damage reduction. All of them. I don't even care about the damage that I do, the increased damage that I do. Also, skip the 19s, those are bugged, those don't have the strategic damage reduction at this time. But all of those have strategic damage reduction. And let's see how much I reduce my opponent's strategic damage by 87.6%. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why my opponent was not doing that much damage to me when we looked at that report. He's still doing a great amount of damage, but it's not the highest damage dealing if in the fleet as mine is. And that is the only way to counter it at this moment. My season 5 is gonna end. That means that my season specialization is gonna disappear. So I will get a lot more attacks after that. So, if you're season 5 starting, try to focus on Sarah, try to focus on getting her to rank 6, get that trinket specifically for Sarah. The other Cartol trinket, not that amazing so far. Cartol itself, it's good, but not that amazing. But Sarah is, so try to focus on that, try to do as many as you can. And next Friday is gonna be my Season X1, or Season 6 in this case, discovery stream. So tune into that, and I will see you all in the next season. Thank you for being here. Leave a sub if you haven't done so already. And next video is probably gonna be about gold. How to get as much gold as we can, because that's gonna be another problem in Season X1. I will see you right there, and thank you for watching until the end. Have a good sailing.